Now, as you're doing your due diligence and as you understand what it is that this water has to offer, Kangen water has three very unique characteristics that no other water in the world has: antioxidant, microclustering, and alkalizing. And we're going to talk on each of those properties here just momentarily. Now, if you understand what happens when you cut an apple in half, 20, 30 minutes later, that apple will start to brown. That's a process called oxidation. And you see that very same process of oxidizing is going on inside of us, which is why we need antioxidants to slow that oxidation process down. And you see, it's that oxidation that's going to wreak havoc on your cellular DNA. It's that oxidation that's going to be responsible for the aches and the pains and the arthritis that I had, or the premature aging, or the sickness or the disease, or ultimately our demise. And again, the key is we need to slow that oxidation process down, which is why any healthcare practitioner on the holistic side or any health food store is going to be touting the advantages of antioxidants. And that's one of the interesting characteristics of Kangen water. It has amazing antioxidant properties. As a matter of fact, when you drink Kangen water, it has a negative charge, and the free radicals, or the oxidants that are inside of our body, have a positive charge. So think of this water as a scavenger water, if you will. The more of the water that you drink, the more of the free radicals it's going to bind to and enable it for you to flush it right out of your system. Now, this is an interesting slide. We're going to talk about something called oxidation reduction potential, okay? And what that simply means is that all liquids that we put in our body either have a positive oxidation reduction potential value or a negative. And the long and the short of it is the higher that positive ORP value is, the more oxidizing effect that liquid will have on your body. And as you can see from our chart here, soda ranks at the top of that list. Now, on the opposite side of the spectrum, you're going to see Kangen water, and Kangen water is the only water out there that has a negative oxidation reduction potential value, and the higher that negative ORP, the more beneficial that liquid is. What you're looking at here is a picture of our company founder, Mr. Hironari Oshiro, along with his U.S. advisor. Now, normally when I do these presentations, I will ask the audience, you know, if you had to guess, how old would you say that Mr. Oshiro is versus his U.S. advisor? And the typical response is somewhere between 40 and 45 for Mr. Oshiro, and somewhere about 65 to 70 to his U.S. advisor. The ironic thing about this, though, is the fact that both of them are the same age. As a matter of fact, both of them will be 66 years old here in 2007. And I think we'd all agree that Mr. Oshiro has figured out a way to slow that aging process down, and whereas U.S. advisor, I don't think has been quite as fortunate. And I've had the good fortune to meet with Mr. Oshiro privately, and I asked him, I said, Mr. Oshiro, you've obviously figured out a way to slow that clock down. What's your secret? He shared with me with the fact that he believes in simplicity, but also he said that if there was one unique characteristic that he could attribute to the way that he looks and the way that he feels, it's the fact that he's been drinking Kangen water for the past 15 years to the tune of about 4 to 5 liters. Now, prior to him starting Enagic, Mr. Oshiro was a major player with the Sony Corporation. As a matter of fact, he was one of the leading distributors in all of Japan. Now, again, because of that negative oxidation reduction potential value of the water, as a result of that, that water now has potential to become an antioxidant, anti-inflammatory properties, as well as anti-aging properties. Now, as I take you through this presentation, throughout this, we're going to actually refer you to some books. Since 9 months ago, since I got introduced to this technology, I've been reading book upon book about this technology, and it's absolutely amazing what I've found. Here's an interesting read. As a matter of fact, if you want validation for today's subject matter, this Kangen technology, this is a fascinating read written by a Korean scientist. But look at what he talks about in this book. Removing acidic waste is more effective than diet and exercise, and that's what we're going to be talking about, is a technology that actually can help to flush your body and rid itself of all that acid waste that's sitting inside of us. Now, the second characteristic of this water is the fact that it has amazing microcluster technology. And you see, as this water travels through our machine, with the touch of a button, we can make 5 different kinds of water. Now, one of the benefits of that as well as the water travels through there is the fact that that water molecule cluster is broken down into microclusters, and the importance of that is that this water, because now of its smaller size, can penetrate you at the cellular level, so it's going to hydrate you unlike any other water in the world can. And when you look at the fact that your body is comprised of 75% water, again, we all understand the importance of water, but the question again becomes what kind of water it is that we're putting in our bodies, and even the bottled waters that we've been led to believe are good for us aren't necessarily that good. So what we're suggesting is instead of drinking bottled water and the soft drinks, to simply switch to Kangen water. And again, understand our tagline, change your water, change your life, because that's what's going on for literally millions and millions of people all around the world. Here's another fascinating read written by Dr. Bette Mangelich, who happens to be an MD. And in this book, just look at the title, Your Body's Many Cries for Water. Think about what he says here. You're not sick, you're thirsty. Don't treat thirst with medications. And on that note, as a society, we are severely dehydrated. When you understand the fact that on average, we only consume 1 quart of liquids a day, which will include your juices, your teas, your sodas, your coffees, and what little water we might get. But on the flip side is we're actually losing anywhere from 2.5 to 3 liters of water every single day. So needless to say, if we're only putting back 1 quart and we're using up 2.5 to 3 liters each day, then we're moving toward the dehydration side of that scale. And the more that your body gets dehydrated, the more problems you're going to have down the road.